Hello and welcome to Aragon, round 12 of MotoGP in 2024, where all the talk is about one man, the 93, Marc Marquez, who's fastest in free practice on Friday morning, fastest in practice on Friday afternoon, fastest in free practice 2 on Saturday morning, and has just taken his 94th career pole position by 0.8 of a second. He's been asking for a perfect weekend. So far, it has been a perfect weekend. Marc's manager, Jimmy Martinez, is here. So far, so good.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think since the first, training session, Marc did it really, really well. And now for the qualifying practice, I think was amazing. So, yeah, now focus on the race. We'll see what happens.
I know that Marc will have had some confidence coming into the weekend. It's a place he's been at successful before, but for it to have gone as well as this so far, has it taken him by surprise a little bit?
No, I mean, he's confident, that he's feeling better and better with the bike. I think when he arrives to tracks that, historically he was strong, it's when everything comes together. So now I think it's a matter of finding those kind of details in the other tracks and keep these feelings for the upcoming races.
Nervous yet, or that come in a few hours?
If in a few hours, I guess. But everything is, when everything is coming like this on a weekend, it's much, let's say, nervous, but good nervous. You know what I mean? Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see how it comes, the race.
Good luck.
Thank you.
There we go. Great to be able to catch up and get a flavour from inside the camp as we see Marc Marquez himself is there, actually. So why don't we come with me? Let's take a slightly naughty, cheeky route and filter down in this direction in between both the Gresini and the Ducati Lenovo team box to see Marc, who I imagine is up there, is he? Yeah, there he is. There is the 8-time world champion with his fans, plenty of them as well. We can maybe sample a bit of the atmosphere and see just how busy Marc is doing all of these autographs. I don't think he's going to be able to get through everybody there, is he? The number 93, but yeah, what a weekend he's been having so far. What support he's got as well. The 93 grandstand sold out weeks, months in advance already. We saw at first thing this morning, it was packed. The flags were flying. Everybody so excited to see what this man would be able to do here at a circuit where he's had so much success at before. There's been a lot of talk about that long wait, over 1,000 days now. Sprint win won't end it. We feel if he is to do the business in the sprint, that sets him up perfectly for what is to come tomorrow, where of course he will be starting from pole position. First time this year he's been able to do that. On the front row, incidentally, along with Pedro Acosta and the world champion Pecco Bagnaia, but that 0.8 of a second advantage is the big takeaway, really. 0.8, it's the biggest that we've seen so far in 2024. Mind you, of when he was able to clinch pole position in Brno, was it? Back in 2019 by over 2 seconds. Incredible job to be able to pull it together on that day. That was in the wet, drying conditions. This time around, though, yes, difficult conditions, but it was fully dry, not a lot of grip. But Marc was able to just completely dominate that session, and as a result is the big talking point going into the sprint. We'll see if we can grab a very quick word with him. Not particularly going to say much, I don't think, because already he's going to be full focus on actually getting the job done. Of course, pole position counts for nothing. He gets a watch, but he's not bothered about watches. He wants to be on the top step. Marc, very quickly, so many fans here. What's it like to get that reception?
Yeah, of course, GP of Spain is the third one already this year, but always is special, and yeah, from our fans, we have this extra boost.
I want to ask you about the race. Just good luck.
Thank you very much. We keep focused.
Enjoy it. There we go. Heard from the 8-time world champion there after an incredible performance, really was. And just listen to the fans here as they cheer him into his motorhome. There we go. We managed to get a word from him, and now we can get stuck into maybe picking up the pieces from other stories from that qualifying session. In particular, frustrating one you feel down here at Pertamina Enduro VR46. Neither Marco Bezzecchi nor Fabio Di Giannantonio were able to get out of that one. And that means that they're going to be back on row 5 of the grid. Of course, Didier expected, put in a very valiant effort, you have to say, despite that recently dislocated collarbone. But Bez just missing out right at the death. Instead, was pushed back to 3rd, so he will front that row 5 of the grid. Up and down day, really, for these guys. The orange side of the MotoGP paddock. Brad Binder got through, topping Q1, and then just wasn't able to convert. Pedro Acosta on the other side, though, matched his career best MotoGP qualifying, and as a result will line up in the middle of the front row of the grid. What a turnaround for him. He was saying on Thursday that, as we were telling you yesterday, has gone right back to the start, completely back to basics with that bike to just try and find some sort of direction forward. Yes, conditions here are very, very rare, very unique, which has maybe played into his hands, but you know, you've got to give credit where it's due. He's taken full advantage of that as Sebastian Rees, technical director, just walked past us. I'm just hanging around here because Francesco Guidotti, the team boss, is here, so it would be good to get his reaction from his guys, in particular Brad Binder, who certainly put in a good effort, only had this singular soft rear tyre, brand new one, for that session, so only had one run, pressure was on, and I'm sure he'll be a bit frustrated that he didn't get a little bit more out of it. So he's just chatting here to Alberto Giuribiola, who incidentally, in a new role this weekend, you'll be able to see has changed from orange to red. He is going to be Enea Bastianini's crew chief from the start of next year, but to get him back up to speed as a crew chief and to try and make sure that they can hit the ground running in Tecla next year, he's going to be moving into Augusto Fernandez's side of the corner. Francesco, hello.
Ciao, Jack.
Ciao. How do you reflect on that in the end?
Yeah, I mean, having 2 riders in Q2, then it's what I think we deserve. They deserve, the riders themselves. And looks like in this condition we are pretty good on performing. Also the pace was in FP2 was pretty good. So starting from the 1st and the 3rd row, I think we can hope in a good result.
Brad had a great result last time in Austria, sort of refinding that confidence. Looks as though Pedro's done the same here after what's been a difficult period.
I mean, it's I wouldn't say difficult. I would say more it's in a learning process. So luckily he started very well the season, and so we know that he has the speed. He can have the feeling with the bike. So. And then the bad part of the learning process is that you have to experience different circumstances and some crashes also. The crashing with MotoGP is different. Now he knows. So yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised of this let's say last races with some more difficult, and here again back to the 1st row. So. This year has to be like this.
Good man, go and enjoy some lunch.
Thank you.
I see more Guidottis as well. How many are there in the paddock now? 4 or 5?
More and more. Too many.
I know, we're swarmed by Guidottis. They're everywhere. Seen a bit. There we go, Francesco Guidotti with his son. His other son has just started work for the MTA Moto3 team. His brother Giacomo is crew chief to Luca Marini. His son works for the Idemitsu Honda team agent. There's Guidottis everywhere. We're swamped by Guidottis. It looks as though there's another one with his KTM top on there that he's been primed to come into the fold in maybe a few years' time. Down here at Gas, Red Bull Tech 3 is a certain Pedro Acosta floating around. I don't know if he is. The fans are still there waiting, so maybe we can hang around to see if we can grab a word with Pedro, who you might have seen afterwards had a very, very scary moment where he completely lit up the rear tyre during the practice starts. There's an early trip over there. Was chatting to him before the interview in Park Ferme and said just how close was that, and he went too close. It was a big moment, but fortunately he was able to save it from a real embarrassing one. Just looking down, I don't think we're having much success. Why don't we float further back in this direction? It looks as though most of the riders have finished up debriefs and are now en route to motorhomes, which we have here in Europe, of course, the showers before refueling, getting some lunch on board and refocusing for the sprint. We'll make our way further down, right to the bottom, just to see if we can have any more success, if we can pick up any little snippets from team managers, crew chiefs, riders, whoever. But, as you can see, it's pretty deserted. So we shall try our best and see what we can come up with. As we see Michele Messini just up there, chatting away to Nadia Padovani. Davide, hello. How are you? Very quickly, how do you reflect on that? Pecco, job done on the front row, but I'm sure Enea frustrated.
Yeah, and he's so frustrated. As I said before, we couldn't find a solution for him, while it's almost the same for Pecco. While obviously having Marc Marquez with a Ducati performing so well, we must understand why. Because Marc is very strong in this racetrack, but he has a bike like our bike, so we need to understand where is the problem for our riders' bikes and try to make some slight modification for the first race.
0.8 of a second is a ridiculous advantage. Is it a real 0.8 of a second? Is it a little bit closer in reality, or is he actually that far ahead?
No, he shows that he's steps ahead of the other riders since yesterday morning. Marc is doing an incredible job here in Aragon, so we'll see. We try to close the gap with some modification now for the sprint, but I guess that to beat Marc will be very difficult.
Thanks, Davide.
Thank you.
There we go. From the horse's mouth, from the world champions team boss, to beat Marc, it will be very difficult. And who are we to argue against that? He's a red-hot favourite. There's no denying that. The number 93 is going to take some real stopping. You feel that probably Pecco Bagnaia's only chance, or Jorge Martino, of course, will start behind him in fourth. The man here, the Martinator, their only chance of stopping the 93 from taking sprint victory is that first lap. They have to start well. They have to get in front of him. They have to disrupt his rhythm, because if Marc gets the whole shot, I think it's going to be see you later to the rest of the fields. Thank you very much for joining us at Inside the Paddock. We'll be back with you in 6 days' time, would you believe? Quick turnaround. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. Will Marc Marquez do it? Is that wait finally going to end? We'll find out. Well, we'll get an idea in the sprint, and then we'll find out properly 2 o'clock local time tomorrow afternoon, the Aragon Grand Prix, with the 93 starting from pole position. Tune in, enjoy it.